Hey, what's shaking bacon? My name's Bruno Panucci. I hope you're doing well. We're going to start with an update, and before we do that, I've started taking the commercial out of the center of my video, so to offset that, I'd like it if you would like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate that. Anyway, the update. So I'm 61 hours into my water fast. I feel great. I have really no problems. My energy is good. My balance is phenomenal. It's weird how my balance gets better, but if my joints feel better, which they do, then it would kind of make sense that my balance would be a little better and coordinated. For those of you that are interested, I'm down in weight about 6 pounds, but that means nothing to me because I'm sure as soon as I start eating again, that weight will come back, most of it. So over time is what you want to pay attention to, the trends in the direction it's going in. The only reason why I care about that at all, which is not really my focus of this, as weird as it sounds, is to get my insulin under control. My insulin, as lots of you know, has been chronically high even after over 2.5 years of carnivore. So the side effect of getting healthier in that area will mean weight loss. Yes, indirectly the goal is weight loss, but the main goal is gaining health. And one of the best ways to improve your insulin is fasting. Now, as lots of you know, I had to stay away from it for a long time because of my history of gout, but I've been doing it different with this snake juice recipe. And I've also been combating any gout sensations that I might get through either kidney stones or gout in any of my joints with apple cider vinegar. And I haven't used baking soda yet. That's highly recommended, but I haven't used it yet. I'm going to try it today. I'm actually down over 11 pounds. When I started passing a kidney stone, before I even started this water fasting, it was Sunday night. I noticed Sunday night into Monday, I started peeing a lot. Like I was urinating a lot and I didn't have that much to drink. And I thought that's weird. Usually it's a pretty simple outcome. You know, you drink a lot of water, you urinate more. And I didn't drink that much more water that day, but I was urinating a lot. So typically what happens when you're passing a kidney stone from the kidney down to the bladder, it's holding everything up. And it was small enough that I didn't feel too much of a sensation, but enough that I was like, okay, something doesn't quite feel right. And that would explain why all of a sudden I just started peeing a lot. I've had that sensation before when passing kidney stones that were a lot bigger and a lot more painful. But I noticed when it was in the bladder, I had this sensation that doesn't feel too comfortable. And that's when I started taking apple cider vinegar in large amounts, quite frankly. I was taking probably like 5 or 6 tablespoons at least. I would guzzle it. And it really, within 20 minutes, had a dramatic impact on that sensation I was feeling in my bladder that was increasingly and slowly getting more painful. I ended up just passing sand. So I'm a fan of that. Now you have to watch it if you're taking apple cider vinegar because it's so acidic. You gotta worry about your teeth. So some of the side effects I've had before doing intermittent fasting is a sensation of cold. Now I combat that with movement and exercise, and it does really well. It keeps me warm for the next few hours afterwards. I can actually play with this a little bit because on really hot summer days, it's a great way to keep your body feeling a little cooler. But realistically, I want to try and avoid that, and I want to keep my body working as optimally as possible. I combat any weakness I have with snake juice. So there were a couple times on day 2, I did feel a little weak. I'm talking maybe a 2 out of a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, of course. And so I would have snake juice. Within a very short while, I felt fine again. So weakness hasn't been too much of an issue for me. And as well, I was worried about sleep. Sleep hasn't been an issue for me. Normally when I fast, literally that day, or I don't get enough calories or enough fat, my sleep suffers really, really extreme that same night. And I get at best 6 hours. I'll usually wake up in the middle of the morning, like 2:30, 3:30 in the morning with that cortisol bump that's increasing my sugar to give myself a bit of a wake-up call because my blood sugar got too low. Hasn't been an issue so far. I wouldn't say I'm sleeping quite as sound as when I was doing a high-fat version of carnivore. I was starting to get into some really deep sleep. And I have to say, when I was doing that high-fat, yes, I put on a lot of weight, but my allergies are phenomenal. My eyes feel amazing. This is typically my allergy season with all the pollen in the air, and I went through 2 bad days. So that fat fast had an outcome clearly on my adrenal gland. And I know some of you are thinking out there right now, yeah, but you're fasting and now you're stressing your adrenal gland. Yeah, but you know what's more important for me right now is getting my fasting insulin under control. I can worry about that later. And I know that's letting future Bruno take care of that. Screw you, future Bruno. But the reality is I have to prioritize getting that under control because a 1.5 year stall is not a good place to be at my weight, especially with a history of heart disease. Now, I did notice something on Sunday night as well, and this could be related to my kidney stone that I was passing. I had some tightness in my chest if I took a deep breath. It was nothing extreme. On a scale of 1 to 10, it was maybe a 1 or 2. Just at the end of that deep breath, I would feel some tightness in my chest, nowhere specific. And I felt no other symptoms, but I took aspirin afterwards and it did feel a little better. I took it last night just to see if there is anything related. So I might go to a doctor today just to make sure everything's okay. So I'm going to go an extra day with my fast for a few reasons. 1, I'm feeling really good doing it, so why not? And 2, I plan on breaking my fast with Five Guys. Now I'm going out with a friend on Thursday night and we're going to go see a movie and go to Five Guys, and I'm going to break my fast a couple hours earlier with bone broth. I'm going to have some of that, see how I feel. After that, I'm going to have a little bit of beef fat, see how I feel. And then a couple hours after that, I'll have my Five Guys. I'll just have a few patties and I'm going to leave it there. And I might roll into another fast. So I plan on doing these fasts. Assuming this goes well, I'm going to keep doing these fasts on and off, on and off. Now you have to live. I still have to go to my parents' place for dinner. So it's not like I'm going to try something extreme like a 30-day fast, but I am going to break these fasts with small portions of carnivore food. And if I feel good doing this, I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to go a few weeks before I get my fasting insulin checked just to see how much it's improved. I want to give it time to improve. I want to see that number go from high to average. So I want to give this a fair amount of time, maybe 3 or 4 weeks. If I get really curious, maybe I'll go in the middle of that, but I'll get it tested again at the end of this after about a month or so. So the beautiful thing about today is my 3rd day of water fasting. And at the 3rd day, that's when the magic happens. And the magic I'm referring to is this feeling of almost like a euphoria. You get this mental clarity and your joints feel even better. I remember when I was doing it years ago in 2018, I felt like a teenager again. I felt like I was 18 years old. I even moved like I was 18 years old. My balance got better. That really surprised me that my balance got better and my walk got faster. My joints were just more loose. And I asked my doctor about that and he said, well, the blood that's normally circulating around your digestive tract doesn't have to be working on your digestive tract anymore. And after 3 days with your digestive tract completely empty, it's free to do everything else in your body. So it's almost like blood doping, and you get the sensation at 3 days that just feels amazing. And I have to admit, I'm approaching that. I started noticing it at the end of day 2. And when you get to the end of the 3rd day, you're like, I feel amazing. The world is my oyster. Well, maybe not that extreme, but you know what I'm talking about. You feel extremely good. So technically for me, this is going to be more like a 90-hour fast by the time I'm done. Now, I want to know how you're doing on your snake juice diet if you've made it to the 3rd day. Now, even if you didn't make it to the 3rd day, let everyone know how you're feeling with this. I appreciate it when you leave a comment and add any feedback that you have. So thanks again for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Please like it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Take care. Now, I want to know how you're doing on your snake juice diet if you've made it to the 3rd day. Now, even if you didn't make it to the 3rd day, let everyone know how you're feeling with this. I appreciate it when you leave a comment and add any feedback that you have. So thanks again for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Please like it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Take care.